Got an interesting one today. It's a Startech wired print server. It takes a USB, and you can see what the problem is right away. There's a big hole where there should be a USB, and it hosts it on the network. So this is from a store, and there's a long story as to why I can't just buy a new one and plug it in. It has to be this MAC address because of an IT guy that can't remember his passwords. But to keep them rolling, it looks like none of the pads here have ripped off. So I'm just going to try to shove this in and solder it. So I want to prep the pads as best as I can with the little NF mini pen and some 0.3 millimeter solder. This thing might actually be so old that it predates the unleaded solder only mandate. Started using the smart part of my brain and I realized I had this holder that I bought recently. I should show you too how to get in the case. It has obviously screws on the bottom, but then you got to stab in here at each corner to release the hooks. That took me a while to figure out. So I had a little too much solder on there. I wanted to take it off and start fresh. Which may be a job for a more powerful iron. Now we tin it again. Let's see if this bigger iron is still usable. First, let's clean up. And it looks like this chip got so hot that the flux started to melt, which is pretty crazy. But that probably weakened the solder joints here, and that's how that came off without ripping the pads. That has to go from this way. Like that. And it looks like that one's kind of loosey-goosey. All right, maybe we take the smaller iron to tidy this up a little better. So let's push on the pins. Don't like that little lump there though. Okay, let's take it out. And we'll plug it into something and test it out. I'll let you know the results. Well, good news, happy ending after all. I got this working. It's hooked up to another power supply down here. Oh, that looks funny on the camera. Anyway, 7.5 volts, it's pulling 226 milliamps. That's all flickery as it is for me in the preview. I have it hooked up directly into this USB, into this 2012 MacBook Pro running Ubuntu. And it turns out this is not a PM1115U 6, it's just a PM1115U. Everything after that, I guess, is the serial number. I was pointed on to that by a helpful person from Startech support themselves. This thing's been around for 20 years and they still make it apparently. But on the 1115U non-2, which was the one I was looking at before, was the 2 where you have to link local. This one, you just go to 192.168.2.2 after you set yourself to something on the same subnet. So I did that. I got to it, and it turns out on this there's a password, so I might not have had to reset this, is basically what I'm getting at. But admin and 1234 as your password. So I changed the IP back to 192.168.1.117, and so there I am at that IP. It's hooked up to a brother printer, which is this right here. So that means that the USB port has successfully been fixed. Here's me manually assigning myself an IP in that range so that it would see it. And it seems we're in business. So I'm gonna bring this back to the place where it was installed and we're gonna try it out. And that should be the end of it.